Have you ever looked at your dog and seriously wondered if you are the one being trained instead of the other way around? Because sometimes it truly feels like our dogs wake up every morning with a full human personality loaded and ready to go. They stretch, yawn dramatically, and stare at you like they have a long list of responsibilities for the day. Meanwhile, you are still trying to remember what day of the week it is. From the moment you open your eyes, your dog is already judging your life choices, especially when breakfast is involved. You might think you are making your own toast in peace, but those big, round eyes watching from across the kitchen say otherwise. They tilt their head like a disappointed roommate asking why you did not share. And if you leave that plate alone for even 2 seconds, it becomes a mission. Not a random grab, but a carefully calculated operation. They move slowly, quietly, with the focus of a professional spy. Then the food disappears like magic. And when you turn around, they sit there innocently, as if they have never seen bread before. It's not stealing in their mind, it's simply quality control. After breakfast comes couch ownership. You may have paid for that couch, but your dog has claimed it emotionally. They stretch across the cushions like royalty surveying their kingdom. If you try to sit down, they sigh dramatically. Sometimes they even refuse to move an inch. You end up squeezing into a tiny corner of your own furniture, and somehow you apologize to them. Dogs have mastered the art of silent pressure. One look can make you question your authority in your own home. They also have a deep understanding of comfort. Your freshly folded laundry is apparently the best place to nap. Your pillow is better than their bed, and your blanket belongs to them now. Then there's the dramatic side of their personality. If a doorbell rings, they transform instantly into security guards. They bark like they are protecting a castle. It doesn't matter if it's just a delivery person. In their mind, danger has arrived. Moments later, they calm down and demand praise for their bravery. Sometimes they fake injuries for attention. A tiny bump becomes a full theatrical performance. They limp for sympathy until a treat appears. Suddenly, the limp disappears. It's award-winning acting every single time. Dogs also have strong opinions about personal space. Some days they want constant cuddles. Other days, they look at you like you are invading their bubble. If you try to hug them at the wrong moment, they give you that slow blink of disapproval. It feels like being scolded by a tiny furry professor, and somehow you respect their boundaries immediately. Jealousy is another very human trait they have mastered. Bring a new baby into the house and watch the silent competition begin. They position themselves strategically between you and the baby. If you buy a new plant, they inspect it carefully. If you give attention to anyone else, they suddenly need water, snacks, and emotional support. They may not say it out loud, but their face says everything. Even the vacuum cleaner becomes a rival. They bark at it as if it owes them money. Yet when the vacuum is off, they stare at it suspiciously from a safe distance. Dogs also act like tiny alarm clocks with zero mercy. Weekday or weekend makes no difference. At the same time, every morning, they are ready. They paw at your face, gently at first. If that fails, they increase the intensity. A lick here, a small bark there, maybe a dramatic sigh. Sleeping in is simply not allowed. After all, the sun is up and breakfast must happen. They take routines very seriously. Walk time is sacred. If you're late by even 5 minutes, they notice. They sit by the door and stare into your soul. It's a look that says you have disappointed them deeply. But once the leash comes out, all is forgiven. Their excitement during a walk feels like pure joy. They greet neighbors like old friends. They sniff every corner like they are reading the daily news. Back at home, they sometimes take on the role of therapist. If you're having a bad day, they sense it immediately. They sit beside you without asking questions. They rest their head on your lap like silent support. No advice, no lectures, just presence. It's comforting in a way that feels almost magical. And when you laugh, they wag their tail as if they caused it. Working from home introduces a whole new level of human behavior. They walk across your keyboard during important moments. They stare at the screen like they understand the meeting agenda. Sometimes they bark at your coworkers' voices. Other times they fall asleep under your desk like loyal assistants. They demand breaks exactly when you are busiest. They believe productivity should include snack time. And honestly, they're not wrong. At the end of the day, they curl up beside you like nothing dramatic ever happened. They look at you with eyes full of loyalty and mischief. You realize that life would be much quieter without them, but it would also be far less joyful. Because when your dog acts more human than you, it's a daily reminder that personality comes in all shapes and sizes. They may steal your food, your couch, and your blanket. They may judge your schedule and control your mornings. They may act dramatically, jealously, and be bossy. Yet somehow they also love you in the purest way possible. They turn ordinary routines into unforgettable memories. They make you laugh on days you feel tired. They sit beside you when you need comfort most. And in the end, even if they act like tiny furry humans, they are still your best friend.
Relatable.